everyone. Thank you for tuning in to this week's news capsule. Just by being here, you have expressed an eagerness to learn. Remember, the capacity to learn is a gift, while the ability to learn is a skill. But most importantly, the willingness to learn is a choice. That choice is something you all are exercising right now. So give yourself a pat on the back. The highlights of today's news capsule are: Australia to open borders to vaccinated travelers from 21st February. Google awards Hall of Fame to a young boy from Bihar. NASA plans to crash the ISS into the Pacific Ocean in 2031. Iceland to end commercial whaling in 2024. Greenland ice sheet loses enough water to submerge US. India win their 5th Under-19 Cricket World Cup and a thrilling F2 segment. Let's begin with the international news today.
Did you know that Australia had implemented the world's tightest and longest standing travel restriction due to the COVID-19 pandemic? After 2 years of having shut down their borders to all outsiders, the government has made a decision to allow vaccinated tourists to enter the country starting the 21st February of this year. This is certainly great news for anybody who has been craving a visit to the great outback.
For this week's dose of Igraasp inspiration, we have an exciting story for you. Rituraj Chaudhary, a young student from IIT Manipur, found a mistake in the world's biggest search engine that would allow hackers to attack its security networks. After sending his discovery to the team, Google acknowledged their mistake and are now working to resolve it. Thanks to his initiative and hard work, Rituraj was given a Hall of Fame and Google added him to their list of researchers.
The International Space Station has been orbiting the Earth's atmosphere for the past 2 decades. It orbits the Earth at a speed of 8 kilometers per second and has unearthed many groundbreaking scientific discoveries about our galaxy. However, all good things must come to an end, as NASA has announced that the spacecraft will retire in 2031. But Igraspers, did you know that when the ISS completes its journey, it will fall into the South Pacific Ocean and join other retired crafts and space debris at Point Nemo? Isn't that fascinating?
Igraspers, did you know that Iceland, Norway, and Japan are the 3 only countries in the world that allow the hunting and poaching of whales? Japan resumed commercial whaling in 2019, which created a huge decline in global demand for this meat. As it has not been profitable since, politicians from Iceland are currently debating a policy to ban commercial whaling by 2024. This is a welcome news for many marine life environmentalists around the world.
According to researchers from Denmark, Greenland's ice sheet has lost enough ice to submerge the entire United States in half a meter of water since 2002. Did you know that this amounts to more than 4,700 billion tons of ice? Rising sea levels are a devastating reaction to climate change, and melting ice from Greenland is now the main factor in rise in the Earth's oceans. If we are to fight against climate change, we must act fast and take collective action to save our planet.
According to a global count of tree species that was conducted by thousands of researchers, there are an estimated total of 73,300 species of trees on Earth. Out of these species, 9,000 are yet to be discovered. These undiscovered species need to be prioritized in forest conservation efforts, as they are especially vulnerable to human-caused disasters such as deforestation, climate change. Let's begin this week by learning the names of some of these undiscovered species.
Igraasp, it is time to celebrate yet again as the Indian cricket team beat England in the finals to grab their record 5th Under-19 World Cup title. Rajamit Bawa produced a stunning all-round performance as he took 5 wickets for just 31 runs. He was awarded the Man of the Match award, while batsman Dinesh Pana hit the winning shot in style, just like Dhoni did in the 2011 World Cup final. We congratulate the entire team and we can't wait to see them reach newer heights.
It is the end of an era as we bid farewell to the Nightingale of India, also known as the Queen of Melody. Lata Mangeshkar passed away last week after having lived 92 long and beautiful years. In this time, she recorded close to 50,000 songs in 14 different languages and was awarded India's highest civilian award, the Bharat Ratna, in 2001. You could pay tribute to her by listening to some of her songs with your parents this week. Also, don't forget to send us your favorite song at contactus@igraasp.com.
Igraspers, have you ever wondered how Air India got its name? To commemorate their recent acquisition of the national airline carrier, the Tata Twitter handle shared a fascinating backstory about how it was given its iconic name 75 years ago. Back then, it was a difficult choice between 4 shortlisted names for the new airline company. In true democratic fashion, Tata employees were made to vote to decide their final name, and the rest was history. Poetic, isn't it?
Dylan Helbig, an 8-year-old boy, hand-wrote and illustrated his own storybook about time travel in just 4 days. After adding his book to a community library in Idaho, he was surprised to find that it was in high demand with a waiting period of over a year. Motivated by the success of his first book, Dylan is already working on his second book based on actual events. Igraspers, it is important to remember that you are never too young to achieve success and realize your dreams.
Igraspers, did you know that the oldest and most famous resident of one of the world's remotest islands is a 190-year-old tortoise called Jonathan? According to the Guinness World Records, he is the oldest ever turtle or tortoise to walk this earth. To put that in perspective, Jonathan was born even before the invention of the light bulb and the world's first camera. People on the island are currently working on Jonathan's birthday celebrations, which are planned for later this year. Do make sure to eat some cake on that day.
The word of the week is dilemma, which means a difficult choice between 2 undesirable choices or alternatives. I am in a dilemma whether to finish physics assignment first or chemistry. Both are equally difficult subjects. The riddle of the week is, why was the math book unhappy? Because it was full of problems.
Can you guess who? This American basketball player is considered to be one of the greatest players of all times. With 6 NBA championships, he earned the title of the most valuable person or MVP awards and 2 Olympic gold medals. With expertise in jumping, dunking and changing direction mid-air, he became so popular that he even starred in the famous animation Space Jam. Oh yeah, it is Michael Jordan. Did you know that Michael Jordan's tied up with Nike for the famous Air Jordan shoes started in 1984? Well, yes, these are still the most popular shoes amongst teenagers. And now you know why.
Did you know that astronauts successfully managed to grow a flowering plant in outer space? Zinnia plant, which is sensitive to its environment and has typical growth conditions, bloomed in the year 2016 in the veggie plant growth system aboard the International Space Station. It's an edible plant and can be eaten in salads. This biology experiment conducted by NASA increased the chances of growing similar plants like tomatoes in space.
Quiz time! Which Hollywood blockbuster movie suggested the possibility of growing plants on the red planet? Send your answers to contact us at igraasp.com along with your full name, school name, and a photograph. Answer to the last week's quiz. An American named Walter E. Dima invented bubblegums in 1928. This certificate of appreciation is presented to Ahana Pandit of DPS School, Arkepuram, New Delhi for successfully participating in the weekly quiz on India's leading news capsule for tweens, Igraasp.
Dear Igraaspers, this week let us read The Alchemist. Nicholas Flamel is widely considered to be the finest alchemist of his day. According to records, he died in 1418. However, his tomb is found empty, indicating that Flamel is still alive. Within the book he protects lies the key to endless life. It has the potential to destroy the planet if it falls into the wrong hands. And yet, there is hope as Sophie and Josh can save everyone. Read this fascinating book and share your feedback on igraasp.com/iClub.
Thank you for watching this news capsule and learning with us. Remember to always be eager to learn your whole life, because learning doesn't consider any age or come with an expiry date. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.